Excuse me? Okay. Well, Cosmic Book News has been correct about some rumors and wrong about others. We shall see, won't we? Disney resetting Star Wars, erasing The Last Jedi. What does that mean? Let's check this out. A new rumor has hit the net offering that some sort of Disney Star Wars reset is in the works that will see Force Awakens, Last Jedi, and Skywalker basically erased. Woo! All I want to say is I hope this is absolutely true. Hey, we're getting the Snyder Cut. People have a petition out to get The Last of Us Part 2 remade, and it's gaining traction. You never know. You never know. We got Snyder Cut. Let's keep going, folks. You never know. The rumor comes from the future ruler of Earth, the Doomcock Overlord DVD YouTube channel, who recently offered that a Star Wars civil war is happening at Lucasfilm between Kathleen Kennedy and Jon Favreau. Oh, not Doomcock. Doomock. Well, first it says Doomcock, then it says Doomock. So I don't know what is. I'm going to have to look him up. Doomock also previously provided those Skywalker spoilers. And prior to Marvel Studios announcing a new director and writing team on Captain Marvel sequel, said there were all kinds of problems at Marvel with Brie Larson and Captain Marvel. Interestingly enough, Feige is now going with Elizabeth Olsen and Scarlet Witch. Disney Star Wars trilogy getting nullified. Getting back to the rumor, Doomock says that plans are in place to save the Star Wars franchise, which involves the Abrams and Rian Johnson trilogy getting nullified. It's claimed. You see how excited I am, right? And I didn't have a problem with The Force Awakens, though. It's claimed the Disney Star Wars trilogy will be erased using a concept that was recently made canon in the Star Wars Rebels animated series. In Season 4, Episode 13 installment titled A World Between Worlds, the concept of the Veil of the Force was introduced, a mystical dimension of the Force that connects all time and space, explains Doomock, or Doomcock, whatever. I have received confirmation from 2 additional sources claiming that this is spot on. That indeed Lucasfilm realizes they have a massive problem on their hands. That the Star Wars franchise is all but dead. And despite Kathleen Kennedy's hatred of the idea, Lucasfilm is preparing to render the sequel trilogy null and void. Then you can do the 3 that Lucas wanted to do. It's said that the events from The Force Awakens, The Last Jedi, and Skywalker will be removed from canon, isolated in their own alternative timeline, and regarded as an Elseworlds-like installment under the label of Star Wars Legends. Yes! So what Doomock, or whatever, is explaining is that a Star Wars multiverse will be created, which will isolate the Disney Star Wars trilogy as being part of a separate universe that is not part of the George Lucas original. Yes! Oh, God, I hope this is true. You're getting me very excited, God. Please let it be true. Doomcock continues by noting the details can't be verified, but says there may be proof it's happening in the rise of Skywalker. It's further noted that the plans are not set in place, as again, Kathleen Kennedy is said to hate the idea and is said to be doing everything she can to crush it. As if the plan comes to pass, everything that Kathleen Kennedy did with the sequel trilogy will be destroyed, tossed out, and declared obsolete. Doomcock feels the plan will happen. A massive reset is going to hit the Star Wars universe, he says. Man. So it says this, regarding how they are going to undo the Disney Star Wars sequels, it involves the Emperor. Interesting. Emperor Palpatine had a room on the second Death Star called the Room of Mirrors. The mirrors were created by the Emperor prior to the Death Star through the dark side using ancient Sith rituals. The mirrors are linked to the Veil of the Force, served many purposes. Using them, Palpatine could manipulate the Force in many ways to further his aims. For example, the use of the mirrors allowed Palpatine to cloud the Jedi Council, to conceal himself and his dark apprentices from the Jedi and from Force sensitives that followed their fall. Using the mirrors allowed Palpatine to access the awesome powers of the Veil of the Force. They were indispensable tools that allowed him to rise to the pinnacle of ultimate power. It is this conceit that explains how Palpatine survived Darth Vader throwing him down the shaft in the throne room of the Death Star. In desperation, as he fell, Palpatine opened a porthole to the Veil of the Force and entered it. This explains why Palpatine is in such a damaged state in the Rise of Skywalker, as transporting himself into the Veil without the aid of the mirrors drained him and damaged him severely. Dumac also goes on to explain that the Emperor created a second set of mirrors on Exegol that allowed him to escape where he plotted the rise of the Empire. Regarding how things will be reset, it's explained that all one has to do is go into the Veil of Mirrors and wait for Palpatine to enter, as the Veil is a mystical dimension wherein all times collide, which will cause the Disney Star Wars trilogy to co-sign its own alternate timeline forever, as Palpatine enters the Veil and never gets back to Exegol. The Emperor is prevented from using the mirrors to return. He dies as he was intended to in Return of the Jedi, and Bob's your uncle. What? And Bob's your uncle? And all our problems are solved, explains Doomcock. So since the Emperor never survives, that means the events of The Force Awakens, The Last Jedi, and Skywalker never come to pass in the George Lucas timeline. Wow. Man. Oh, man. So there was supposed to be a scene of the mirrors. Man. I hope this happens. It's a rumor, but I hope it happens. Oh my God, I hope it happens. Post your comments down below. Let me know what you think. I'm giddy just at the possibility that Rob Lloyd played the game. Bars! 10 million subscribers. Woo!